Flowers here, back with another pick a card reading. And this one is, what do your ancestors think about you? So if you've ever wondered, if your ancestors are pleased with the decisions you're making, if they feel like you're making your mark in the world the way you want to be, this is the pick a card reading for you. So as always, we have 3 piles to choose from, right? So we have pile number 1, which is the Irish wishing stone, pile number 2, which is the pendulum, and pile number 3, which is the bell. So you can pause the video, you can think about or feel into which pile resonates with you the most, which figure resonates with you the most. And we'll get started. If you picked the Irish wishing stone, this is the pile for you. Okay. So, what do your ancestors think about you? Okay, we have read. So your ancestors actually think that you are very smart, very intellectual, and they also think that, wow, our hard work, our determination, our sacrifices really are paying off. When they see you reading, they feel so full of pride. And maybe you came from a family that, maybe they weren't able to have leisure time, right? Maybe you came from like a rural farming type background where folks just had to work and work and work, and they didn't have the time to enjoy reading, right? Maybe you come from, maybe you're like the first person in your family to go away to school, or you come from another country and they didn't speak the language, and this was something that they always felt insecure about, right? Like I'm hearing, I always felt insecure about my voice. I never felt that my voice was good enough. Maybe you had a grandmother who, she just never felt like what she was saying was good enough. She didn't feel intelligent enough to stand up for herself and to speak her thoughts and to share her specific kind of wisdom because of the country or because of the accent that she had, right? And then other folks who may have come from poorer backgrounds, right, had issues with poverty. Maybe there were people in your family who weren't able to learn how to read, or maybe they had to, leave school at a certain age because they had to go and work. Or maybe you had a parent like that, a mom that was a single mom, and she maybe had you or your siblings young, and so she wasn't able to pursue her dreams, right? And so here the ancestors are saying, we're so proud when you read, when you use your voice, when you use your intellect. And so they're saying, keep going, keep doing it. You're making us proud. Yeah, your ancestors want you to trust yourself. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So it's so interesting because the Irish wishing stone really is about like wishes and luck. And so your ancestors want you to trust yourself. They're saying you've done the reading, you've done the research. Don't carry on the family tradition of doubting yourself. Don't carry on the family tradition of not knowing just how smart, just how wonderful you are. And definitely family vibes here, because we have this number 42 on the card. So when we reduce that down in numerology, that's 6, and 6 does stand for family. And then anytime I get the message to use this Irish wishing stone, I always feel like this is very ancestry, very old, right? Very like Celtic and things like that. And so again, your ancestors want you to trust yourself. They're like, you've got this, okay? You've got this. You've done what you needed to do. Go for the job, right? Become that entrepreneur. Trust yourself, right? You know what you're doing. And they're also saying, if you are actually thinking about furthering your education, if the pandemic has like, maybe if you've lost work because of the pandemic and there's something else you want to do, maybe going back to school, your ancestors are saying, trust your intuition. That is the right choice. Your soul whispers, your ego shouts fear. So again, yes, right? Follow your intuition. Trust your intuition. Your ancestors want you to know that there are times that they're talking to you. They are whispering to you, but you are either not listening to them or you're like tapping down their knowledge, like you're not paying attention. And we literally have like these lightning bolts coming into the mind, and it's like these are the messages, your downloads that are coming in, but maybe you're not paying attention. I also feel like if you're an activist, right, maybe you're so busy advocating and being rebellious and being resistant that you're not softening to the mysteries of life, to the things of the esoteric. You're not paying attention to your heart. Maybe you've thrown yourself into your work because you're afraid to be alone, and your work gives you a sense of purpose, and your ancestors want you to know there's other things besides work, okay? That love is important, family is important. And so you really need to go ahead and reconnect to the mysteries of life, because it's like, yeah, you might have a fat bank account, but what is your level of peace? How much peace do you have in your life? How much balance do you have? Your ancestors definitely feel like you need a lot more balance. You need a lot more peace. And you really, again, these issues, these things that you're advocating for, social change, these things are super important, but your heart, your soul, and your spirit are actually more important. So it's like less time fighting on behalf of people you don't know, and more time getting to know yourself and fighting for yourself and loving yourself. Your ancestors feel like you're definitely too and externally motivated, and you're externally motivated because you don't trust yourself, right? Because maybe you have an intellectual approach to life and to how you interact with people. And on the one hand, they are super proud about it, but they also don't want you to get lost in the sauce, right? They don't want you to be so like intellectual and academic that you're actually not relating to the people who, you want to create change for. Okay. So for my advocates out there, don't lose sight of the actual people that you're trying to reach. Again, particularly, I'm getting this thing about poverty. I'm getting this thing about like rising above, right? Like being very, very much like a Capricorn. So it's so interesting that the full moon is in Capricorn tomorrow. So you could either be a Capricorn yourself, have a Capricorn sun, moon, rising, or if you're like a cross watcher, you're dealing with someone and you came onto this reading because you want to find out more about them. They could be a Capricorn, and it's like all of the striving. Your ancestors love it. They are super excited, but again, it's like, why are you doing it? Are you doing it because secretly you do not feel like you're enough? You don't trust yourself, and so you have thrown yourself into the work so that you could be an expert on those things, on the things of the mind, but the heart is way down here. So your ancestors want you to get in touch with your heart. And it's so funny that the heart is right around the throat chakra too. And so it's like the more you get into your heart, the more truthful you'll be. All right? Yeah. We have awakening in reverse. And so this is just more, and it's so interesting. We have these lavender colors, these soft colors, these spring colors, and we also have it here, and we also have it here. Right? So again, there is a need to soften. There is an awakening, right? There is a change that's coming, but again, you have to trust yourself, and that's why things are not shifting. So if you came onto this reading to find out like also about maybe a block or a barrier in some area, it is definitely the ego. Okay, it's definitely not trusting. It's definitely being wrapped up in the ego. The ego is not a bad thing. The role of the ego really is to keep us alive and to keep us safe. That's why it's there. But we again don't want to be so externally focused, because that has a lot to do with the ego as well, right? And it's like, again, to the activists, to the people that are, and I've been an activist for a long time myself, but to the people that are like maybe new to activism, it's like all the yelling and all of those things are important. But again, what is the nature of your internal life, right? Changing your inside. Maybe not focusing so much on changing other people, but really focus on changing yourself. Your ancestors want you to awaken to yourself. Awaken to your inner power, awaken to your strength, and not trying to force your ideas and your opinions on everybody else when you have not also done all of your own homework about what makes you tick, okay, why you are the way you are. Check yourself first. And then what the other thing your ancestors have to say about you, what they really love, what they appreciate you about you is your level of openness, but they want you to be even more open, as I said, like really soften your thoughts. They're not trying to control you. Nobody's trying to control you, but definitely just that you could be a lot more open, maybe connecting with the moon. And look at this. Here is the full moon showing up, and the full moon is tomorrow. Full moons are a time of things coming to a head. Eclipses are about swift closings, right? Doors closing, endings. The energy of the eclipse will be with us for the next 6 months. So your ancestors definitely want you to be open. So even in this reading, if you're feeling like resistant, if you're feeling tightness to some of the things you heard, your ancestors just encouraging you to be open. Again, thinking about that Capricorn energy, right? Not being so stubborn, being open to change. Okay, so this is definitely two groups of people. There's one group of people where your ancestors are like, we are pleased with you, how open you are, please do more. And then there are some that are totally rigid. Okay, and we know that it's rigid because the awakening is slow, right? So that is your message, pile number 1. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Number 2. So if you picked the pendulum, this message is for you. So what do your ancestors have to say? So your ancestors want you to spend some time alone. They feel like you definitely need to retreat. They need you to relax, relate, release, maybe go to the beach. If you do, please make sure you are safe, okay? This is a timeless reading, but just make sure you're safe when you go out to the beach. They definitely want you to connect more, obviously, with nature, water in particular. They definitely feel like alone time. Wow. Wow. Okay. So the motorcycles have showed up on my street. Okay. So yeah, so they definitely want you to spend more time alone. There are messages, there are things that they want to give you, and they don't feel like you actually are making the time for it. So they want you to make the time to connect with them on a deeper way. What do your ancestors think about you? They think that, oh, you've already met the partner you seek. Wow. So this could be the one. So when thinking about, oh, I get it. Okay. So thinking about what do your ancestors think about you? So if you've been getting messages, if you've been hearing things and you haven't been trusting it, what your ancestors want you to know is that it is definitely them, that they are talking to you. And what they think about you is that, again, like pile number 1 a little bit, you're not trusting enough. You're not trusting the messages. And more importantly, you are not trusting yourself enough. And so your ancestors really, and it's almost like these are them up there, and then this is you down here. And so it's like what they think about you is you have so many talents, you have so many abilities, you're so magical, which is why you were drawn to the pendulum, right? But you're also seeking, you're always seeking, you're always looking for something, right? It's like always looking. And they want you to know that you have everything you need. This could be the one, like you are the one. So this isn't so much about romance. This is about they want you to know that you are actually the one that you've been looking for. You are the answer that you're seeking. And I think that's why they want you to spend this time alone so that you can love on yourself, okay? They think that you don't love yourself enough. You don't take care of yourself enough, okay? You don't celebrate yourself enough. This could be the one. You are the one. You are it. That's what they think about you. Look at this. Look at this. Allow unlimited abundance. What your ancestors think, again, is that you have so many gifts. You have so many talents, right? You can do so many things. You can have unlimited abundance, but you don't see it. So again, they want you to love yourself way more. They want you to tap into your gifts. They think that you're not doing that. They see that you're not doing that. And they want you to do what? Banish those thoughts, okay? This is a great weekend for endings. I guess this is why I was moved to do this reading today. So Saturdays are usually the day of ritual for banishing things when you want to get rid of things, even though this is a timeless reading. But if you have caught this today, it is a Saturday. And so is a good day to banish things. And so your ancestors, think that you actually push people away and you push things away. You push opportunities away. You are closed off emotionally. So even if there's so much activity going on my street, and it was so quiet before. Okay. So even if you're in a room full of people, you feel very much by yourself. And so what your ancestors think about you is that you're isolating too much, okay? So it's like they want you to spend time alone so that you can basically get your head right. They don't want you to be isolated because they think that you keep yourself too separate, all right? What do they think about you? They think that you engage in too much self-talk. And this self-talk is also separating you from your good, separating you from the love you want, separating you from the money you want, separating you from your dreams coming true. Yeah. And then what do they think about you is that you are not, again, involved in community enough. And so it's like, be alone, do your work so that you can come back into community. And look, you have this banishing card before hex. So you are pushing people away. And they think that you're doing that because of fear. Right? There's a level of hiding. There's an energy of hiding in this deck. Not wanting people to see the real you. Not wanting to let community see the real you. Not wanting to let people get too close. And so your ancestors really want you to be more like the butterfly. They want you to feel free. They want you to know that life is good. Okay? And they think you're so talented. You just have to open up. It's like you have to close so that you can open up again. Does that make sense? Close so that you can open up. All right? Any other cards? No? This is good? Okay, great. So that's it, pile number 2. Thanks. Bye. Well, I've made it this far. Go ahead and drop a magic ball, a crystal ball into that chat. All right, so pile number 3, what do your ancestors think about you? So your ancestors feel like you are large and in charge. You are a bell ringer. They feel like you are the one that gets the party started, that you are super exciting. They feel like you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing to keep it going and keep it moving. And they want you to keep ringing bells, all right? They want you to keep doing what you're doing. So what do your ancestors think about you? They think that you could do well with some deep breaths. They also think that you are extremely deep. You are extremely intuitive. You are extremely brilliant. Your ancestors think that you are awesome. They are very pleased with the way that you are doing your magic, working with your third eye. I feel like pile number 3, this is a group that has worked really hard to break what we call generational curses, investing in all the classes, really working on your gifts and constantly rebirthing yourself, right? So we have the 1 + 9, which equals 10, which goes down to 1 with new beginnings. And so your ancestors think that you're really, really good at rebirthing yourself, right? And taking the information from the cosmos and bringing that down into your reality. Your ancestors think you're a magician. They totally do. They think you're like a total alchemist and they are so proud. And I don't feel like this was a family where or families where that was really worshipped or celebrated. So I think that they're really surprised at the way you've been able to manifest and the things that you've been able to do. And they're like, keep going, keep ringing them bells, okay? What do your ancestors think about you? So we had codependency, however, it was in reverse. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So again, your ancestors think that you are doing a good job again of breaking those generational curses because this was in reverse, as I said, right? So those you're really working at moving those energies out of your body, out of your space, and out of your life. Again, breaking those generational curses, maybe of addiction, right? Addictions that broke up marriages. If you come from a lineage of alcoholism or substance abuse or sexaholics, shopaholics, whatever, child abuse, domestic violence, they really like the way you are really, changing the legacy, right? Again, bell ringers, legacy changers. So they recognize that. They recognize that you are doing the hard work. Yeah, there you go. Pure magic. And so here we have so much blue. Don't we have a lot? We have a lot of resonant blue. And again, blue is about emotions, right? And so we have you are pure magic. So I know that this is ringing bells for y'all. So just go ahead and put that crystal ball in the chat because I said your ancestors thought you were magic, and here it is. This is what they think about you. And they're saying go further, do more, do more, do more. Okay, so we have union, handfesting, again in reverse. More confirmation, what your ancestors think about you. Look at this. This was in reverse, this union, this hand fasting. So breaking the ties. You are pure magic. Your ancestors think, again, you're doing an amazing job of breaking family ties, and they want you to keep going. Oh my God. Look at that. Pure happiness. They are so pleased. Again, they are so happy. They are so happy. If you don't feel a sense of happiness right now, if you just feel a sense of heaviness because you've done all this hard work over the years, just know that your ancestors are looking out for you. Just know that they see all the hard work you're doing and they think that you're amazing. They think you're pure magic, and so do I. So go ahead and like, share, and subscribe if you have liked what you have heard, because we want to keep it going. We want to keep it moving. We want to keep on bringing this great content. And that is all I have. See you soon.